Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to our first Young Professional webinar of the year. My name is Esteban Padilla. I'm a graduate student at the University of St. Thomas. I do research on music medicine, and I'm very excited to be the moderator for the evening. So we'll be hearing from Kat Cottrell and Thomas Kinchlow about, what is PAMA and how young professionals fit within the organization. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight.
So I'm Thomas Kinchlow. I'm a third-year medical resident at Michigan State University in osteopathic manipulative medicine. I got my undergrad in 2012 at Arizona State University in microbiology. Did my master's in biomedical science in 2013 at Midwestern University in Arizona. Graduated with my Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine in 2018 at Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, and finished my intern year of medicine at Stony Brook University at Southampton campus.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Kat Cottrell, and I'm currently a family medicine resident based at McMaster University in Canada. So similar brief introduction. So I'm originally from the UK. I went to medical school at Imperial College London. And I first came across PAMA in 2016 when I was looking for a way to combine my identity as a pianist with that of being as a physician. I attended the PAMA Symposium in Aspen, and I haven't looked back since. I'm excited to share more information about PAMA with you all today after that amazing talk by Dr. Hu. So let's get started. So just a quick disclosure information. So this whole presentation was put together by the young professionals. We've got nothing to disclose. We haven't been given any money, and we're all here out of our love for PAMA. So hopefully we can share that with you today. So for those who are new to PAMA, the first question you may be asking is, who are we? So we're an organization made up of an amazing group of people from medical and allied health professionals to arts educators, performers, whether that's dancers, musicians, actors, to name a few, as well as administrators within the performing arts. The commonality with all of these members is that we share the critical goal of trying to improve healthcare for performing artists around the world. And I think, with the COVID pandemic, we've all really realized how much as a society we rely on the performing arts, especially for those of us working with the community. But we really rely on musicians, dancers, poets, actors for comfort, happiness, connection, and reflection. And despite our reliance on the performing arts, the pandemic's disproportionately affected this population, which makes it more important than ever that PAMA steps up and continues to support performing artists to be physically and mentally at their best and do what they were born to do, whether we're working as educators, administrators, health professionals, or a member of the community of performing artists itself. So a little bit of background about PAMA itself. So it was founded in 1989 in the US, but it's always aimed to have members from around the world. And it's so amazing to see tonight how many people from literally all over the world that we have in attendance. So thank you all for tuning in. I know at the start there was some mornings from Japan, afternoons from Australia. I may have got that wrong, but it's so wonderful to have you all here. These members that we do have are involved in a big range of activities, including research, education, as well as clinical practice. And over the years, the members that we have contributed such a huge amount to the field, writing books and articles on the subject, as well as other webinars and interviews sharing their experience. So look at a selection of these contributions. You can see them on the members publications section of the website. And there's also other resources available there, including an amazing state-of-the-art review on psychological health in music schools, which was put together by a few of our amazing members. So that brings us to our mission statement. So as an organization, PAMA is committed to promoting the highest quality of care to performing artists. And they emphasize the special needs that performing artists have and ensure that they receive the care that takes this into account. We strive to develop educational programs to enhance the understanding and prevention of medical problems related to the performing arts. We also really want to promote communication among those involved in the healthcare and well-being of performing artists. And I think, Jason touched on this as well with regards to our different professions within the organization. We really want communication to happen between educators, administrators, healthcare professionals, which is why it's so essential we have a really varied membership for our organization. And finally, our mission statement is to foster research into the etiology, prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of performing arts medical problems. And like Jason says, the more diverse we can do this research, the more the field will move forward. I will now hand it over to Thomas to talk about the history of PAMA.
So again, we're going to talk a little bit about the history, kind of want to dive back into what started PAMA initially. So in 1983 in Aspen, Colorado was the first symposium on medical problems with musicians. In 86 is when the scientific journal, The Medical Problems of Performing Artists, was founded. And finally in 1988 was when PAMA was officially incorporated by a group of physicians. Specifically, they were individually working on medical care of musicians and dancers. Both the symposium and the journal began under the leadership of Dr. Alice Brand-Von-Brenner from Chicago, who became the first editor-in-chief and PAMA's founding president. So initially, the organization was primarily limited to physicians, but it quickly grew to not only just the health professionals, but also educators and performers and administrators in both music and dance genres, as well as expanding the scope to outside of the United States. And with that expansion came a lot of other diversity in research and incorporating all the varieties of our message to the rest of the world. So another map of kind of what the world and all of our international memberships that we have. The symposium is traditionally held at the annual festival of the Aspen Music Festival each summer. However, since 2016, it has moved to different states, NYC, UCLA, Chapman University, LA, and with a future meeting planned for London. The MPPA publication is currently the official journal associated with the organization, and it's also free for all of our members. PAMA will continue to expand both in numbers of professionals and performers, as well as expansion of our online presence and also this young professional group that we're a part of. So membership benefits, you get the subscription, you get a discounted fee for the annual symposium, and discounted registration for the online certificate, as well as you get a listing of all the membership benefits. And then also there's a sponsorship with the Alice G. Brand-Von-Brenner Award for the best paper by a young investigator, as well as other opportunities with social media, as well as journal clubs as well that we'll talk about further. Fees for the membership are $65 for students and residents, $250 for physicians, and $200 for non-physicians. So other opportunities that you can also participate in, we talked briefly about one, submitting research to the MPPA, as well as apply for that Alice Brand-Von-Brenner Award, which is the $300 honorarium with the stipend to travel to the symposium and present there. As well, you can get involved with the Young Professionals Committee on one of the subcommittees, such as webinars, social media resources, and outreach. There's also other committees available, such as research, education, and membership. Another thing that we talked briefly about, which we'll talk a little bit more in depth about, is the online certificate course in conjunction with the American College of Sports Medicine. And I'll hand it back to Kat.
Brilliant, thank you. So a little bit more about the certificate course. So this Essentials course was originally an in-person course that we ran prior to the main symposium, but gradually it's been transitioned to be completely online, with the aim of improving accessibility to those around the world or those that can't make the trip to the symposium. The course covers health problems that are unique to performing artists, as well as key procedures and evidence-based treatment approaches. Performance-related anatomy, physiology, and psychological considerations are also explored. The course itself is taught through a series of online lectures, and participants can choose whether they take an exam at the end to receive a certificate of completion. There are 3 main streams which you can sign up for to make it as useful as possible for each person and as relevant as possible. So these 3 streams are the physician stream, allied health professional stream, and the arts educator stream. And to see which one would be most appropriate for you and your experiences, you can check out the website and see some more details about each one. And of note, for the educators, there's 3 separate exams depending on the specific performing arts that you're involved with. In terms of practicalities, you have about a month to go through the material at your own speed. And once you've completed your stream and the exam, you'll get your certificate. So check out the website and find out more information. And the next enrollment will start in March this year, so not too long to wait. So as Esteban introduced at the start, we have a very exciting new experience for PAMA, which is our webinar series for 2021. The idea for this series stemmed from our young professional group who wish to use webinars to improve performing arts medicine knowledge, provide educational resources, really work through how these methods can be brought into performing arts programs around the world, inspire ways that we as young professionals can get involved with the organization, as well as having a safe place to discuss and build confidence with our research. And really, we wanted to grow on the success of Dr. Lucinda Halstead, our president's COVID webinar that she ran in the fall, which was amazing. So I don't know if we achieved it, but this webinar today aims to set the stage for what's to come. And you can see here the next 4 webinars that we have planned leading up to the symposium in June 2021. We chose these topics based upon a recent survey that you may have participated in from the Educational Committee, as well as a need identified with the recent abstract submissions that a session on research and how to get your paper accepted would be really helpful to members. So the good news is that for members, all of the webinars are free, and for non-members, it's just $10. But as Thomas has just said, it's actually only $65 for students and residents. So you really would get your money's worth if you sign up to be a member. You get all webinars and you get all the other benefits that we've gone through. So there's lots to look forward to in summary. Aside from what we've talked about, we are also launching a journal club to start in March this year as well. And this is designed to give an opportunity for members to discuss research they're conducting, as well as discussing other performing arts medicine research, which is making waves within the field. So to get involved with this, just sign up to be a member, and you can contact Matt McCrary, whose email will be on the next slide, and get involved with that. We also have our annual symposium to look forward to in June. And as has already been alluded to by Jason, this is normally completely in person, but due to the pandemic, we will be holding a hybrid conference. There'll be a live face-to-face component for those near or in New York at Weill Cornell, but also a virtual component for those of us further afield. And then finally, the other exciting update for PAMA is that we're currently working on our new website to improve our online presence, and this should be completed by approximately April this year. And we're really hoping with this development that we continue to build and grow with PAMA and increase our impact within the field and ultimately help more performing artists across the world. So the last slide from me, I just wanted to highlight the 2 imminent opportunities you can sign up for at this time. Our first one is a meet and greet session with the amazing Dr. Melody Herubis on the 22nd of February at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So last Monday of the month is the theme for our webinars, if you hadn't clocked that. And we'll be chatting about the amazing work that she does within the performing arts field with the aim of inspiring the next generation of leaders within PAMA. And the second opportunity I already spoke about is the Journal Club launching in March. And this is Matt's email here, which will also be on the last slide, so you have more time to look at it. So I will now hand it back over to Esteban to conclude the session.
So, thank you so much, Kat and Thomas. Then, of course, thank you, Dr. Who. Everyone's been great tonight. We are a little short on time, but we did have a couple of questions that were sent to us through social media that I think would be great to touch upon. So first one was, what kind of time commitments are required for young professionals within PAMA?
I'm happy to take a lead on this one. So the whole idea of the Young Professional Committee is that you come and bring to it whatever experiences and whatever time that you have to give. So if you have a month or two where you're done with your work commitments or school commitments and you really want to inject some of your passion into PAMA, there'll be opportunities for you. Equally, if it's just something you want to rumble around in the background, attend our meetings and pipe up when you feel like there's something you can contribute to, then that's absolutely fine. So any and all contributions is so welcome.
Thanks. Here's another one that I think is great is, what are some of the benefits that you, and I think this is actually all of us, have personally experienced from being members of the Young Professional Committee within PAMA? Whoever wants to comment on that one.
I think we can all say a couple of words. So, I mean, I've just absolutely loved connecting with such amazing people doing such different things around the world. And actually, interestingly, in the symposium, I didn't get to meet as many amazing people as I have through the Young Professional Committee virtually. So even meeting Esteban Thomas, Katie, so many different people, even just within the webinar team, who've really expanded my view and is fantastic connections and learning every day.
I'll have to double down on that answer, just basically saying that it was great meeting all the other contributors to the Young Professional Committee, and just having the ability to have discussions about diverse subjects within the arts themselves and how our approaches are slightly different for each of the arts.
And I three will have to agree that different perspectives, being able to speak to people who are all, working in the same direction, that is all under that umbrella of PAMA, but from such diverse viewpoints, both culturally and academically, and also with employment, being able to hear from people chime in and say, someone from my perspective would not have thought of that. That is something we need to include. Or, have someone chime in and say, well, people from my perspective would really like to hear this thing. Could you bring this up? I think it's really nice to have that diverse roundtable on things, especially, and for me personally, I'm a graduate student. I'm getting ready to start, submitting a thesis proposal to work on my thesis. And it's nice to have kind of that like safe space academically to spitball ideas without the pressure of serious academia where people are already established. It's nice to talk to people who are still developing in their careers. It's nice to have peers from other parts of the disciplines. I like that a lot.
And I think, sorry, I know I've had my turn, but I'm just going to add in. I mean, when I was first sat in London thinking, I really like piano and I'm a doctor and how's this going to work? I didn't know anyone in the field. Whereas, through attending the conference, I met some people. And then through the Young Profession, it's really built a community where in my day-to-day life, I don't necessarily spend time with people that are interested in this. So I think, it's absolutely fantastic to build and grow as a community.
Well, fantastic. I mean, this has been a lot of fun for me, but I think it's been a really good experience to have this conversation with everyone. Thank you so much, Kat and Tom, for your presentation. Once again, thank you, Dr. Hu, for your time and such a great presentation on diversity and inclusivity. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. It's been a really great and stimulating conversation, I think, overall. Just some reminders, as Kat touched upon, our next webinar is going to be with Dr. Melody Hrubis, physical medicine and rehabilitation physician. She has special interest in sports medicine. She's worked with multiple dancers and theater companies and is on the board of PAMA. It's going to be a great talk. I highly suggest everyone sign up for it, especially get that membership if you don't have it yet. If you have any questions on the Young Professional Committee specifically or on PAMA, please contact Matt McCrary. Like I said, we'll be including all this information in a little tie-up email that we're sending out afterwards, as well as information on how to join PAMA and the ArtsMed organization website that we have. We are going to be putting more information about future webinars on there, as well as all the information we talked about for the various things like Journal Club and the certificate programs. All of that can be found on the artsmed.org website. Just keep in mind that we are going through an update process and the brand new website should be up in April. Of course, you can find us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. All of these links will be in that nice little email that we're going to be sending out afterwards. But feel free to be proactive and look up Performing Arts Medical Association. It's a lot of fun. Believe me, I've had a great time with the past few months that I've been doing this. I started as one of those people who just did the certificate program, and then I joined and absolutely loved everything that I've done so far. It's been a great experience. And tonight has been a great experience. Thank you so much, everyone, for talking and presenting, including all of our audience members who had some fantastic things to say in the chat. I have already saved that. We are definitely going to be sharing that with everyone because there were some very good talking points there, possibly even future webinars, I think. But thank you so much. I really want to wish everyone a good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. It's been a fantastic time, and I look forward to seeing you at the next webinar.